Hello, my name is Sarah Frisk, and this is my presentation on my development as a future nurse. The aim of this presentation is to explore three aspects from the Nursing 550 Promoting Health in Vulnerable Populations class that have aided in my development as a nurse. The first aspect is understanding and better communicating with the LGBTQ community. The second aspect is the bias and barriers to healthcare that the Indigenous peoples experience. And the third is the importance of cultural competence and cultural safety in nursing. Each aspect of class has played a role in shaping me into the nurse that I am and will be. The first aspect I will explore is understanding and better communicating with the LGBTQ community. Throughout my experience as a student nurse, as well as through theory classes, I have been able to gain a better understanding of the LGBTQ community and what may be important to them. An example of this is the Mark Hall story that we were able to watch. In class, we were then actually able to meet with Mark and ask him questions about how his experience has changed. We were also able to ask him about his experience with healthcare and what we can do as future RNs to make healthcare a safer place for the LGBTQ community. Using neutral communication when referring to the patient or family members can also be helpful when communicating with this population. Having this knowledge and learning how to better communicate with the community, for example, by taking the time to ask about their pronouns and to use them throughout their care, will continue to aid in my development as a nurse. The second aspect that has contributed to my development as a nurse is recognizing the biases and barriers to healthcare that the Indigenous peoples experience. As discussed in the Nursing 550 class, it is important to recognize our own biases when dealing with vulnerable populations, such as the Indigenous peoples, as it can negatively impact the care that we provide. By giving in to our biases, we are not allowing for room to grow and to understand others that may have different values and beliefs than our own. Although these beliefs differ, they are still entitled to the same access to healthcare and the same treatment by healthcare professionals. I have been able to work with Indigenous peoples during my time as a student nurse, and when the time is taken to get to know the patient and what is important to them, as well as eliminate any personal biases, it is easier to establish the nurse-patient relationship and therefore build trust. As mentioned in the article Our People, Our Health, Envisioning Better Primary Healthcare in Manitoba First Nation Communities, this can in turn create a safe space for the patient to discuss their healthcare needs and possibly any barriers they are currently experiencing. I have also unfortunately experienced nurses saying comments about patients in regard to their cultural beliefs, and have realized through experiences like the blanket ceremony how important it is to say something and advocate for these patients. Education provided through nursing school and clinical
created using Powtoon.